views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Fighters is the name. I don't think I stuttered once. We come in for the game. Find out in the coming months. Think we ain't legit? Then ain't no need to cover up. But don't be surprised when we hit like a money made sucker punch. These claim they reckon, let them know that they got far to go. Got these rappers sweating like they running low on cardio. I got the hardest flow. Y'all flow like south directions. We ain't even trying to fight. It's just a sparring session. My crew finna let loose and no truce to keep your ass safe from us. Got news for the obtuse, no excuse. The truth is we lacing up. Gloves ain't a glove. Push come to shove, they say it's a break and fair. Now that's what I call a straight paper cut. Let's go round for round. We can have it out. We pound for pound. Pacquiao. Y'all gon' run the game. Y'all some damn liars. Lace up your boots, here come the prize fighter.
From Sissy to Importer, we wall tall like heavyweights, heavy-handed, gifted with these hands in the ring. And when we out, we chillin' with senoritas on date night, getting fair tortillas. The fuck you tapedeos, classes with the baddest of men with bad intentions. Spazzing like a jump jack, flashing major titles. Looking at the undisputed, we explosive. The real live shit, live wires, the prize fighters. Money made in Sony Woods like the Klitschko's. The era of boxing bars is ours. Appreciation night, TV stars who burst your stars when your outburst. With these loaded hands, with the mic stand like a loaded gun at a good range. Let's believe I go pow, marvelous hit man.
Oh, hey, hey, good morning, TBV. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another Monday morning edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs, and we on fire around here, man. Monday is Friday for us, man. We're here to talk pound for pound. Who's the king? Who is number one? Who's number two? Listen, the rankings have been updated, and it's time to debate. Francis, Canada, what up? Drake, what up? Tory Lanez, what up? What's going on, baby? What's going on?
What's up? Good morning, TBV. Good morning. Yeah, man, this is definitely our Friday, and it's time. It is time to crown the young champ rightfully where he belongs. What's happening, Nestor?
Chilling.
Out there in Jersey.
Yo, chilling, man. It's brick out here already, man. Ready to go. Ready to go. I'm telling you, dog. But yo, man. So they already updated the rankings. That's the word, right?
Yep.
Where they got the young king?
They got the young king at number 3.
At 3. Who they got in front of him?
They got Canelo number 1,
Oh.
Tyson Fury number 2.
Oh.
They got Tio number 3, and they got Earl number 4.
Ow! Where Crawford?
I think Crawford's like number 6. I'm gonna look at it right.
Nah, get out of here, man.
I bet.
Nah. Let me see. That's the link I sent you? Huh?
No, that's the link I sent you.
Oh, yeah. From last night.
Yeah, it hasn't changed.
Okay. Damn. Supermax put the pound for pound. Shout out to Supermax in the pre-pro. He put the pound for pound rankings from BoxRec up in there. And let's see where they got the young king here on this one. Let's see. Yeah, good morning. We here now. Let me see if I can screen share this and it's gonna look right though. Okay, we can do that. Damn, is he even here or am I? Okay, Teofimo 11 on BoxRec. He's 11 on BoxRec. They still got Canelito number 1 and Tyson Fury number 2. So that's the one thing that we can say that's universal, right? Like, you just said they got Canelo. What rankings were you reading?
Oh, Terrence is number 9. World Boxing News.
Okay.
Number 9.
So you reading World Boxing, and they have Canelo number 1 and Tyson number 2.
Number 2.
But they got Teo number 3. And BoxRec, Earl is number 3. Gennady number 4. Wilder number 5. Crawford number 6.
And they got, they got Nayana Inoue number 4 in World Boxing News, and Earl number 5.
And for those that weren't looking, they have booted Lomachenko out of the top 25 pound for pound on BoxRec. He's not even on the top 25 after that loss. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? He's not even top 25 on BoxRec's list now. Crazy. Wow. Yo, how the mighty could fall in a day. Yo, listen, boxing,
Can you share that one? The World Boxing Scene one with the people?
Oh, I did. Oh, the World Boxing News one?
Yeah.
Sure. The same link, right?
Yeah, the same link, yeah.
All right, I'm going to go look for that because I don't see it. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Let me get the Skype machine going. By the way, guys, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. We're talking pound for pound rankings. We're going to screen share World Boxing News, who has Canelito at number 1 in the light heavyweight position. So they're definitely ranking him off his last fight as well. Tyson Fury at number 2. Teofimo Lopez at number 3. And here's where I'm shocked. Inoue at number 4 when his biggest win is Nonito Donaire that Rigondeaux destroyed and then somebody else destroyed after that. Like, you know what I mean? Who else got the big win over Nonito? Man, I can't even remember right now. But we know Nonito lost a few times before Inoue got to him. So I don't even know how he's at number 4. But I get it. Earl number 5, Manny number 6. That's crazy. Manny beat the undefeated, once unified Keith Thurman. I'm just like, where's the love, right? Vasyl still at number 7 even after the loss, and Gennady number 8, Terrence Crawford number 9, Alexander Usyk number 10. You can see Leo is number 12. And Juan Estrada, 11. Mikey Garcia, 13. So, the rest, it is what it is at this point. They got to do a little bit more to be mentioned. We got a super chat from Supermex, and he says, let's create our own pound for pound on Patreon with polls. Great suggestion, champ. We can definitely do that.
Yo, champ.
Holla.
He had lost to Nicholas Walters by KO, 6th round of the 12.
There you go. So not only did Rigondeaux beat him, Walters beat him, then in his 30s, he loses weight, goes back down, fights Inoue, and they got Inoue number 4 over Crawford and Earl. They bugging right now.
And then he lost to Frampton on a 12-round decision, too.
crazy.
Jesse Magdaleno.
Jesse beat Nonito, too?
Yes, he did.
Oh, man, they wilding for sure. And he did that before Inoue.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, man, they wilding. Yeah, World Boxing News loved them some Inoue then.
Oh, yeah, He's the highly touted. He's the big face, the next thing coming across. They can't wait for him to make that ESPN debut, man.
Right, he the next Chocolatito, man. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
But yeah, man, I don't really understand how. First of all, I don't rank heavyweights in pound for pound list because heavyweights to me are the ultimate. So Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, AJ, all those guys who are in the heavyweight, I can't put them in the pound for pound list because it speaks for itself, in my personal opinion. Also, Teofimo beat the man who I would say on 70% of everybody's list, he was ranked number 1 pound for pound. So my understanding is this, Ness. Let me ask you a simple question, and for the people out there, okay, just bear with me a second. If I'm the number 1 pound for pound spelling bee champion in the world, and you challenge me and beat me, don't you become the number 1?
That's how I like to believe it should work, and that's what I preach around here, but it doesn't look like it works that way. It doesn't look like if I beat you, I take your position. It's like if I beat you, now people can re-rank me and decide where they want to put me. But I think that's unfair. I think if I beat you, I should take your spot. But we got another one from Big Supermax, Plainview, Texas. It says, Bud fans will say it's fake. Laugh out loud. Number 9, pound for pound. So, yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of people that's not going to be happy with this list. Like, I'm not happy with Inoue being there. And that's really it. I mean, everybody else is decent. I mean, I can't get mad at Canelo being number 1. I can't be mad at Tyson Fury. If you rank in heavyweights, Fury has 2 gigantic, significant wins, man. Like, his wins changed the division 2 times. So I can see that there. But I can see the argument for people like you that's like, yo, how you rank in heavyweights? That's only 1 division. They got the power already. I get you. Tio, number 3. I don't know that I love that. But because of who they got above him, I can't argue with that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I know, but think about it. And if you think about and it's hard for me to make this debate because of who Canelo is. But if we really go back and look at it, who was ranked number 1 pound for pound that Canelo beat on his resume, or even close to, at the time when he beat them? That's also the argument too, right?
I mean,
he was close to Floyd. Floyd was pound for pound, but
honestly, I don't have like an article that's gonna tell us. I'm sure someone could find some article that says today Gennady Golovkin is ranked blank on the pound for pound list, and Canelo is gonna be facing him in a unification at middleweight. But I'm sure at the time that Gennady and Canelo fought the first time, Gennady was highly ranked on the pound for pound. I'm sure. I'm sure somebody will find it, even if he's top. He had to be top 5 at least, right? I mean, who else could have been above him? What year was that? That first fight. And as long as Floyd wasn't fighting, then who's really
first fight with Gennady?
Yeah. As long as Floyd wasn't fighting, then who's really in front of Gennady at that time? Arguably, let's see, Pacquiao could have been in front of him possibly. Crawford probably could have still been in front of him. Maybe even Loma. But then you still got 2 slots, and that's what I'm saying. He had to have been in there somewhere in that first and second fight. I know Supermegs know. Supermegs, don't even waste a super chat on that. Let us know. Boxing Expert, what's up? Yo, my mods, lay off a Boxing Expert, man. Let's stop with the timing out, please. Give me a screenshot of what is it that he's saying, because y'all tripping, man. And we got to focus on shows, not debating on craziness. But anyway, he got a super chat and he says, where's La Gata on the pound for pound list? Laugh out loud. And you obviously, whoever doesn't know Boxing Expert, La Gata to him is Charlo. Charlo calls himself the lion. La Gata in Spanish and translated to English means the cat. So cats, lions, you get it. Bam. He's not on these lists. Where is he on BoxRec? Let me see. Is he on BoxRec with that Dervinchenko win? Let me see. Nope. But if he gets that, Jamal is there, champ. Where he's at, he's 16 on the list, pound for pound on BoxRec. Jamal's 16.
Jamal's not there though.
Jamal should be there with that win, right? See, this is what I'm saying. It's so crazy and so subjective, these boxing pound for pound lists, man. Like, how is Jamal not there?
Subjection, man.
No, so let's see. We got another one here from Alexander Wilson, and he says, in college football, if you beat the number 1 team, a lot of the times that team that beat them doesn't become number 1. Francis, I got to go to you, champ. I don't know about football.
A lot of the times, what? Say that again?
Super chat from Alexander Wilson is, In college football, if you beat the number one, a lot of the times that team that beat them doesn't become number one. I don't know nothing about
No,
this.
they don't. They don't become number one. But what they do is they get a position to challenge for a national championship. That is their number one position. So it's almost like if Tio was to beat somebody else and he'd get a shot at Loma being the number one. Based on how the college football system, how they do their rankings, they don't automatically change the rankings. They change their rankings based on the amount of wins you have.
Damn, yo, I love my pre-pro, man. Shout out to everybody that becomes a mastermind and a pound for pound and is in that pre-pro helping us, kill it, man. Together as a community, we make this show great for each other. In the pre-pro mastermind, Supermex founded in 2017 after Gennady Golovkin beat Daniel Jacobs. He was ranked number one.
Number one.
So don't even try to play Canelito when they tell you he's number one. He beat the number one. So chill, Chizzy. But you don't always gotta beat the guy. But that's what I'm saying. When those rare times occur that two people on the actual list get to fight each other, that's moving mountains, man. We got to pay attention because there's no more hypotheticals. There's no more, oh, well, if he was in this weight and he was in that. Nah, now it's like these two are on the list. They getting to fight each other and we're getting to see what's really good. So, I love what took place. So, yeah, man, let's see who else is on that list. So, again, we gave you the top 10. We're going to give you those top 10 again for World Boxing News because they're the only ones updated. I checked Ring TV. They did not update theirs. They still got Lomachenko as champion. I think somebody's a little bit mad. But on World Boxing News, and I'll screen share this, we got Canelo Alvarez as number 1, Tyson Fury number 2, Teofimo Lopez number 3, Inoue, the Monster, number 4. Earl Spence, the Truth, number 5. Manny Pacquiao, Pac-Man, 6. Vasyl Lomachenko, the Matrix. And Gennady at 8. Vasyl was 7. Terrence, 9. Terrence Bud Crawford. And Alexander Usyk, number 10. That is your pound-for-pound list for World Boxing News. Now, on BoxRec, which is a point system, they have Saul Canelo Alvarez number 1, Tyson Fury number 2, and I'll pause there and just say, interesting to note that those 1 and 2s are similar, or rather identical, to World Boxing News. Earl Spence number 3, and that's the glitch for them, right? They have Teofimo on number 3 with World Boxing News, and then they got Gennady, which I don't agree with. Deontay, I do. Terrence, obviously. Joshua, obviously. Pacquiao. Alexander Povetkin, Sergey Kovalev, Canelo's win, still there at number 10. Meanwhile, people like to say Kovalev was done.
I'm hurt, man.
What up?
I'm hurt, man.
What's
I'm
going
hurt.
on? What they ain't do for you?
I can't believe, man. After the young fella put on a great boxing class and beat the quote unquote pound for pound king, they still got him above Terrence Crawford on the pound-for-pound list? What?
What do you mean? What? After the Young King beat who? What?
Lomachenko is ranked number 7 on the pound-for-pound list.
Oh, yeah.
Terrence is number 9.
And what you talking about, BoxRec?
In World Boxing News. In BoxRec, man, if you look at it,
Vasyl is, damn, he out the 25 on, hey, he out the 25 on BoxRec. You saying that World Boxing News got Terrence ranked under Vasyl even after losing?
Even after a loss, man.
But
Come on, man.
It's the fact that he's been in with bigger names, Vasyl, man. He got the bigger names under his belt. You know what I mean?
Yo, it's hurtful, man.
Right.
Yo, they wasting his talent, man.
That's what I'm saying. 15 fights, and he got Orlando Salido, Gary Russell, Mariaga, Pedraza, Linares. Now Teofimo, like that's crazy for 16 fights, right? Luke Campbell, who we just discussed on yesterday evening show, it's an even fight in one betting site, and on the other, Ryan is only a minus 110, so that's still legitimately an even fight. So Campbell, even after 2 losses, still ranked highly. He beat Corolla, which some UK fans, I guess, would give him some decent credit for that. I don't put too much stock into that. But, the Pedraza win is good, who's a 2-time champion now. Linares win is decent. Obviously, Rigondeaux win is big. Sosa was a champion. I mean, Roman Martinez, didn't he drop Mikey?
Yeah.
So, he got a lot of names for 16 fights. There's just nothing you can say about it. Whether you are like me and you believe that those names were placed in front of him in perfect times and situations, it's kind of the same argument that we have about Canelo, right? Some people don't like Canelo's resume and say that he was strategic, and I believe the Top Rank was strategic with Loma, but none of that matters. What matters is that you can't really find another dude, and if you could, you're a great boxing fan, and thank you for being part of the community and helping us, but who else got 16 fights with these level of names on their resume, man? Like, this is entertainment. This is real entertainment. When you fighting, every fight is a name. That's real entertainment. You know what I mean? So, I can see the argument for why they got him ranked above Terrence Bud Crawford, is all I'm saying.
In that role, man, he got a lot of, names back to back. They might not be big names, but they're names back to back to back to back. And he's put on tremendous performance against them all. That's why I think this win for Teofimo is even greater, man, because let me see. His last, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 opponents, he retired them on the stool, man. You hear me?
Excuse me?
I said he retired them on the stool, his last 6 or 7 opponents.
Yeah, I mean,
got
look,
names.
and look, that's why, the torch should be passed to the person that beat his,
Convincingly, too.
Word.
Convincingly.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, shout out to the pound for pound list for hopefully they get it right, man. You guys got another week or 2 to get it right, because this kid really needs to be number 1, at least number 2 pound for pound in the world, man. We talking about 23 years old. He stepped up and did the unthinkable, man.
But what about the resume argument? What about if people were like, yo, but however you wash it up, I mean, he only got Comey and Vasyl.
Yeah, but let it reset. Let it reset after everybody's next fights. You understand what I'm saying? For this, you gotta give him, he the champ right now, so you gotta give him his due. You feel what I'm saying? Put it like this: if Jamel had beaten somebody of a bigger name than Rosario to get the 3 belts, he definitely need to be in the top 5 pound for pound.
And that's kind of how I look at it.
Right?
Was Wilder as accomplished as Vasyl, right? There was a faction of people out here saying that Wilder didn't have an extensive resume. So is Tyson Fury's win over Wilder worth putting him above Teo? Is Canelo's win over Kovalev bigger than Teo's win over Vasyl? And that's how I'm looking at it. Who got a greater win than Teo? That's a big win, man. A 3-time champion.
Massive.
3-time champion in 16 fights, 15 fights. That's a big win, man. It's a big
2-time
win.
Olympic gold medalist. Only lost 1 time after close to 400 or over 400 amateur fights. Come on, man.
It's so big that Salido basically retired off the win, bro. He tried to milk that rematch, man. I don't know. It's a big win to me. But I guess people could also water it down and say, look, how you going to rank Teo number 1 or above guys like Canelo, Tyson Fury, Crawford, Earl, when Vasyl had already lost? He had already lost. He had, we seen him lose.
Well, listen, let me tell you something. Not to cut you, let me tell you something. What PBC is doing the Top Rank, whenever they bring up the welterweight champions in the world and they leave him off the list on TV, is the same thing that Top Rank is doing to that loss of Lomachenko. They leave it off the record every time they bring it up. He was supposed to be an undefeated fighter. Now, non-casual fans knew that he had a loss. But if you didn't know boxing like that and you just started following, you would have no idea that Lomachenko had a loss. They build him up like the man. Never lost. How many wins? So I definitely feel like, yeah, he got to, Teo got to get his credit, man. Teo got to get his credit. I'm excited, man. I'm excited, man, because you can tell this is a new age in boxing, man. The torch has been passed, and it's going to continue going, man. 2020 has been an up and down year, but we've seen some upsets in 2020 already, and we still got more to go, you know?
Definitely, man. So we're scheduled to have Freddie Kawit on the show from the UK. I'm just getting in touch with Mitty to see when is Freddie jumping on. I think he's scheduled for 3 minutes from now.
Listen, man, public service announcement while Nelson's sorting out what he's got. Public service announcement. Thank you very much for joining TBV in the morning, every morning. And I'm saying Monday to Friday. Do us a favor and go ahead and smash that thumbs up button. It definitely helps with the visibility of the show. It don't cost you nothing. Also, go ahead and smash the subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? It helps us grow and get to the level that we're trying to get to give you better content. Smash that like button, the subscribe button. It's TBV.
Well, in the meantime, we're going to go out. Oh, okay. Mitty's connecting them. We're going to open up the phone lines in the meantime. You know the number to call in. We're looking for where you believe these fighters should be ranked. You know, we've given you the 2 most recently updated pound-for-pound lists. If you find another one out there, please interject it into the show. No need to super chat for us. Send it to us, and we will definitely, bring it up. Bring it up.
Let's get to the callers. Check your pre-pro.
Yes, sir. So, let me play this and get this thing going. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to handle this MIDI thing in the background.
And you got to play I'm a Champ, man.
Oh, we going with Champ? Uh-oh. Yeah, we gonna have some jealous rappers out here, man. I'm a Champ getting mad radio spins, bruh. Oh, so now that's officially T.O.'s song, you saying?
Yeah, that's his song. Yo, that song fire.
I wake up feeling like Mayweather. They calling me a prospect, but I know I'm way better. Moving up, man, I'm too big for you featherweights. In and out the ring, niggas violate. We demonstrate the city full of them bright lights. I'm always ready on fight night. Speed bagging and pad work. Running miles to my calf hurt. They ask about the place that I grew up. Shit get dejected, man, I'm fresh out the sewer. Swinging like Wilder, split your medulla. Had to make something out of manure. Niggas high ballin', way out the budget. Can't get a fight, competition keep ducking. Forcing me to move up and wait. Put me in the ring with the champ, knock him out, it ain't nothing. We used to get our food with them stamps. Out here running miles when I cramp. I'm working hard, put that on guard. I live my life like a champ, yeah. That I'm in, we win, we pop bottles. Feeling like Mike in his prime, shout out, cuss the motto. I'm locked in, way more focused than last year. Half the sprints, we spawn like 15 rounds, no headgear. Polly shuffle, my toes tap. Shannon Briggs, let's go, champ. Glass jaw, stiff jab, knife you down on the flow, Mac. My arms bigger than Gold Mac. I'm a champion and that's no cap. Name a fighter that's even close, niggas have to give me a throwback. Jack Johnson, Sugar Ray, the greatest Ali in his prime. Marvin Hagler, Larry Holmes. We grew up eating scraps, now all we fight for straps. Got my mama out the trap, shit, I live my life like a champ, yeah.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
Subscribe to youtube.com/theboxingvoice for the latest and greatest interviews with your favorite fighters.
Going out to 2016, right? No, 17. Caller of the year.
Just like the king is what I mean. The king is what I mean.
Yo, caller of the year. We got boomerangs, ringers, and pound for pounds in here. Yo, Ness, what's my man name that did that song?
What you mean? Oh, the champion song?
Yeah.
Justo Mathis.
Yo, me, Roughhouse, and Justo Mathis. I'm gonna issue a challenge. Me, Roughhouse, and Justo Mathis. I bet you we can write a fight from the perspective of both fighters and the referee. I think that'd be kind of ill. You know what I'm saying? Like, one person take the, one bar for one fighter, one take the other fighter, one take the rest. So I'm just putting that in the universe. But yeah, Francis, you like that, right? Ease up, Selector. So pound for pound, we talking pound for pound, man. It's like it's non-transferable. It's like this share of Packers stock that I had. I bought it, but it's non-transferable, right? So pound for pound, you can't just put. First of all, Loma wasn't the number one pound for pound. So like that's just got to be clarified in the first place. But let's just say Loma was number one, even if strong.
Oh, champ, you got a boomerang. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, we have time constraints. It's a morning show. Get them thoughts in order. We're going out the Mastermind in Plainview, Texas. Pick Supermax.
Oloki, you are next, my friend. Por eso lo vuelvo a repetir. La era del Canelo la mejor porque peleó con los mejores. La suerte es para los mediocres, my friend.
BoxingVoice.com.
Yo, how do I sound, fellas? I'm on the road.
Well, you good. Go for it.
Okay, so I'm going to piggyback on what he said. Yeah, it's non-transferable. Plus, you got to consider where Tio was at before this fight. I don't think he was in anybody's top 10. So it's not the same as you're fighting for a title. You fight the number one guy in the division. Because in rare cases, can the number one guy be fought by a number 4 guy? Like with Canelo and Triple G, they were both top 10 pound for pound at the time. So, but you got to have Tio in your top 5 now. He's made a statement. You got to have Jamal in your top 10. I think it's time to get guys like, Golovkin and those type of guys out of the list, man. It's time to update it. So, but no, top 5 Tio, definitely, I don't have a problem with him being top 5. Number 1, it's hard to argue, man.
All right, Supermax, thank you for your call.
Brandon in Cincinnati, what is going on?
Hey, whole nother time zone. Jumped up for back with our mind on. Can't play when you here, get your life stole. If you bring it here, then the price grow. Phone jabbing and punching the line long. I drop a pitch and let 9 go. We slap with the fake glass and white go. This only happens in Ohio.
Yo, can you hear me?
We do.
My pound for pound is Canelo number 1, Crawford number 2, the Monster Inoue number 3. I've been back and forth on this. I'm going to go Earl number 4, Teofimo Lopez number 5. Just because you beat the number 1 guy don't necessarily make you number 1. You got to look at the has he won multiple champions in multiple divisions? Where was he ranked before? Like everybody said, like I was asking the chat, when Ruiz beat AJ, nobody ranked him number 1 heavyweight. We elevated guys like Fury and Wilder to number 1. So it don't work like that. And it ain't going to work like that in this case. So, yeah, that's my top 5. I got Canelo, Bud, Inoue, Earl, and Teofimo's number 5 on that list. But, yeah, he is moving up. Y'all have a go.
You sound like a hater, bruh. So check what he did. How he gonna rank Earl above Tio when Earl ain't move up and all Earl did is unify with 1 strap? Tio unifies with 4 or 3 versus a dude that's a 3-time champion with more accolades than any of the dudes Earl fought, but you putting Earl above him. Meanwhile, same thing goes for Crawford. He don't hold the win as great as Teo's, but you putting him above him. And Inoue beats a zombie, the Night of the Walking Dead from Nonito Donaire. How many times he got to be killed? Is he a cat with 9 lives? Like, how many times they got to destroy him for people to still get ranked pound for pound off of Nonito? Bro, y'all tripping, man. Y'all tripping. They doing anything to save their favorite fighter's grace. That's what it is. Because how is Inoue above Teofimo? Greatest win, Nonito. Man, y'all tripping, man. Tripping.
That's what I'm trying to say. We talking about Teofimo 23, man. 2 for 2. 2 shots at the titles, man. He's 2 for 2, and he done it in, you know what I'm saying, in spectacular. You want to say spectacular?
Meanwhile, everybody
fashion.
else you talking about, they 30-something doing it. My man does it in a heartbeat. 15 fights, 14 fights, and yo, I'm telling you, people don't respect greatness. They still on that eye test, I see. We got a super chat from Candy Slim 501 that says, the 2 recent consensus pound for pound, Floyd and Ward, got Bud number 1. Even Teddy Atlas has Bud number 1 or 2 last week. Who gives a fuck? How about that? Ward also had fucking Teofimo losing the 2nd round. Hell out of here. That's the problem with boxing fans. You watch the TV with the volume up and you become a sheep. You a straight sheep. Ward said it, so it's gold.
Thanks.
Use your own brain. Use your own brain. Use your own brain, man. Ward said it, so it's gold. It's got to be gold because Ward said it. Yo, we going out to Coach Myers, Connecticut. Talk to him, man. Talk to him. What's your pound for pound?
Yeah, I can tell you I don't got Teal number 1. I can start off there.
The disrespect.
Listen, come on. He's not jumping Terrence and Canelo at number 1. I just can't do that yet.
So you still giving Terrence the eye test?
Terrence?
Terrence? You still giving him the eye test?
Nah, he ain't got the eye test. He number 2. He number 2, right behind Canelo.
Not Tio, huh?
Listen. Come on, Nas. You can't just lunch him right up there. Did you have Loma number 1 in your pound for pound before this fight?
Bruh, I always said arguably because that's where he's ranked. Because that's where he's ranked.
Exactly.
That's where he's ranked.
But you had Canelo.
I had Canelo. You know I always had Canelo.
Exactly. So you can't just throw Tio at number 1 over Canelo, right?
I'm saying it's arguably he got the greatest win. Arguably he got, like, Canelo's greatest win is Kovalev, and that's great because 3-time 175-pound champ, but this a 3-time champion, pound for pound, arguably top 5, so we could all just stop arguing. He's a 3-time champion, arguably top 5 on everybody's list, and this kid beat him at 23, man.
Already a Hall of Famer. He didn't even finish boxing yet.
See, I appreciate when someone that young takes that sort of a risk. Come on, man. Let's give him the credit, man. Give him his flowers, man. Give him his flowers. Greatness, Harlem. Greatness, Harlem. What up? What up? Just listening, greatness. All right. We going out to New Orleans. J-Mac. Oh, greatness is there. What up?
Yeah. What's going on, man? You know that mute button be ridiculous sometimes. But yo, Ness, man, I'm actually with you on this pound for pound. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know too much about the pound for pound. I don't put too much thought into it, but like I said in my bars one time before, man, we gonna follow the green like the Mayweather formula. If you don't got a name, the casuals never heard of you. So we just gonna use those bars to build, man. You feel what I'm saying? Like I feel like if you're gonna be on that pound for pound, it's who you beating. And right now, he's beating that guy. Tio's beating that guy. You dig what I'm saying? And despite everybody saying with the pound for pound, you feel what I'm saying? This is also fighting. They fighters, and a fighter is more concerned about who he beat, in my opinion. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm gonna leave it at that. But they definitely need to put Jamel Charlo on that list too, for sure.
You know what's so funny about that, Ness? Just to piggyback off of that, it blows my mind. It blows my mind. Boxing fans are so fickle. I don't understand.
Yes.
We're talking about arguably amongst reputable boxing reporters, analysts, pundits, having Lomachenko as pound for pound number one. And you have a 23-year-old from Brooklyn who outskilled, arguably the most skilled to ever go in a boxing ring, according to these boxing reporters and analysts. And he outskilled him, and he gets no respect for that? None?
Alexander Wilson coming back contesting Supermax, and he says in 2017, The Ring and ESPN had Triple G pound for pound number 2, with Ward being number 1 in both of the lists. Robert Singleton comes back, or for the first time, says Jermell got 3 belts in the deepest division. I guess that's his throwing Jermell's name in the hat for pound list as well. Donald Banks, Richmond, California, says Lopez took Loma's head. So, just like on Highlander, he gains all the heads Loma took. Now, Lopez is the more powerful one in the end. There can only be one. So he on some Predator shit. All the scouts.
Super chat, Big Super Max Rodriguez. I mean, the argument can be Teo fought a little guy that was featherweight, like you said, about Loma and Rigo. And Teo arguably already outgrew division.
Nah, see, it's different. Who that? Supermax?
Yeah.
Yo, you wildin'. You losing now to me and Alexander Wilson, because this is the difference there. Rigo moved up for one fight. Loma been 135. He just beat Campbell. It's totally different. Totally different. It's almost the argument that people use when they be like, yo, Bud fought Gamboa moving him up. And they like, nah, he had that one fight with Darlie Perez at 135. So there you go. Chill, Chizzy. You lose. Yo.
Check P-Pro.
Candy Slim 501 says, oh yeah, we read that. I think his name is 8, says top 10, not top 5. Loma shouldn't have been number 1. Okay. And you read Supermax's. All right, so we're gonna go to my man in Ohio. What up? What up? What up? Yo, Ohio's strong in here now that I think about it.
Check Pre-Pro.
I am. What up, champ? Uh-oh, he at work. Jay Will, you at work? Cool. E in Philly, talk to me.
Ness, what's happening?
What it
Listen,
do?
man. I'm 48. For 30 years, I've understood pound for pound to be this. And I think you said Max Kellerman said it. If all boxers be in the same weight, that's why it's pound for pound. I don't know what the criteria we're using for pound, because we all got our favorite fighters. But it's pound for pound if everybody was the same weight with the same skills that they possess. And I will argue anybody on that. Because if it's not that, what is the criteria? Because we be all over the board with this. What is the criteria for pound? Nobody can ever say it. Max Kellerman is the only one I've heard somebody said, and I think I heard you say that. But that's how I've always understood it.
Hey, E, we're going to get back to you. E in Philly, we're going to get back to you. We got our first guest, Freddie Kawit from the United Kingdom right here live on the show. Freddie, man, how are you? Good morning. Well, good afternoon for you, right?
Yeah. Afternoon, yeah.
So talk to us, man. Listen, obviously you being across the pond to us, we know a little bit about you because Mitty is a co-host on this show, and he's obviously been in the camp with you, and he's told us a few things, you know, like the little triangle of sins between you, Luther Clay, and Chris Congo. But talk to us, man. Where are you originally from?
I was born in Liberia, West Africa, and then grew up in Germany before I then moved to the UK. when I was about 20.
Okay.
How was that? How was that, man? Sounds like a lot of traveling. Was it easy? I guess. Is that how you kind of got in boxing? Because you moved so much, you didn't make that many friends, or were you always a popular kid?
No, I started boxing late. I started boxing when I was 18. So I don't know which was tougher, because I was born in Liberia, obviously at the time of the Civil War. That was the reason why we flew to Germany, and then growing up in Germany in a small city as a black kid, that was tough. I got in a lot of fights, but eventually I started boxing when I was 18. So I played like soccer before and other bits until I got injured as well, and then went into boxing. And I got 4 brothers as well, so that was, so I always were good at fighting, I think. But I think it was when I walked in the gym the first time, that was it. With 18, that was the time I said, oh wow, I really like that.
Yeah, awesome. How you doing? This is Francis, all the way from Canada, Toronto, Canada. I just want to know, how do you say that place, the city that you were born in? Sasalapia?
Oh, Saclopi.
Saclopi.
Yeah.
At that time in your life, your family moved from Saclopi to Germany. What part of Germany were you in?
Oh, it was really in the north. It's called Flensburg. It's like just on the border to Denmark.
Yeah.
But it's also close to the nearest biggest city is Hamburg.
Okay, and you saying coming up it was tough. You got in a lot of fights in the area, being, you know what I'm saying, a black kid in that time. Did you feel like that's where your fire for fighting started?
I guess so.
Or did you see somebody else in your family that might have done it before, like an uncle or a grandfather, or maybe somebody inspired you on TV?
No, not at all. We don't have, like, in my family, it's nothing. Nobody's really into fighting or something. But I think it was that one where I always had, always when every break in school I was in a fight. So I think this was kind of the reason. Like I said, I got 5 brothers and I'm in the middle, so I was always fighting with my brothers anyway. But I think it was a point later on, where I thought, well, I got older brother, he's protecting me, but I gotta look after myself a little bit too. So and then walk like I said, when I walked in that boxing gym, I think it was after a few weeks where I started first of all, I started sparring my friends. I went with some friends, and I used to beat them all up, and I said, oh man, this shit is easy, until there was somebody who beat me up, and he very skinny guy, and I said, no way. So that was where I started. I think, man, this is just more than just fighting. It's like technical parts, it doesn't matter how big you are. It's just, so I wanted to learn that aspect, and I wanted to kick his ass, so
you wanted to get it back, definitely.
Yeah, that gave me the drive. That gave me the hunger to keep going with it.
One quick question before Mitty gets on. Mitty, what up? Pound for pound, where would you rank yourself among your brothers in the house in terms of the fights you guys get into?
I'm number 1 there.
Yo, real quick, since you brought up pound for pound, Mitty, before he jumps on, we're debating where Teofimo Lopez should be ranked after his, great win over Vasyl Lomachenko. Where do you think he should be placed on that pound for pound list?
I think after that win, he should be at least in the top 5 now, alongside Crawford, alongside Usyk. He should be in the top 5 alongside Canelo and all these bigs. Now he should be within there, because not just obviously before that fight, winning the world title with only 15 fights, with 23 years old, or 22, I think he was by then, was impressive. But also taking on one of the greatest, or if not the greatest boxer who ever actually put gloves on, and then beating him with that young age and doing it like nobody did before. Obviously it was a close fight, but still it was for me. It was like, wow, you know, that kid. If he keep going how he's been going, he's gonna be, you know, something special.
Oh, what up, Freddie? How you doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm good. How you doing?
Yeah. All right. So I'm pretty sure you went through like your background and everything already, right? Like, but you know, since you mentioned like Teofimo and all this, like, you know, Teofimo won like his world title against Richard Comey, right? So, and I know that, you know, Richard is like a close friend of yours, and you've been in camp with him and all that. So, where did that come from? Like your, you know, your relationship with Richard, and what did you get from that training with him? You know.
Yeah, I was training with him for I think for about 2 years here in London. We used to have the same manager, so we used to train in the same gym with the same trainer and everything. And so we were kind of our main sparring partners. He was ahead of me because he had more fights, so he had the experience, but I was a little bit bigger than him. So we actually matched quite well, and we used to spar each other quite well. And that's why I know, for me, with seeing Richard, he was always the hardest training guy I ever seen in the gym. He was there before me, and he was always still there after me as well. And he was tough, man. He was training very, very hard. And because from somebody who's I've been to his hometown in Ghana, I saw where he's coming from. It's tough there, man. It's like it's you would say it's a ghetto, but it's actually worse than a ghetto. It's like because it's still in so from him to, you know, to make it all the way to the top, and like I said, I sparred him before. I know how tough he is. I know how strong he is, and I never seen him anywhere near hurt or down on the floor. And how, you know, I don't know if you remember that fight against Robert Easter in the last where he got hit, but he didn't go down. Like, he kind of bounced back up, and it's like, that's how tough he is. And seeing him getting stopped in the second round against Teofimo, I was like, wow, I wouldn't have expected that.
So the power is real. But like, you know, I mean, like that's about Richard and all that. But like, I know that, you know, obviously you from Liberia, you German also, dual nationality. But in the mind of the people here, at least, like, you're a UK dude. Like, so how do you make your transition to the UK? And, you know, what brought you to the UK, basically?
Yeah. So when I started boxing, like I said, was with 18. Started with amateurs and everything. By the time I was 20, I was so hungry in boxing. I wanted to go all the way, even though people said, "No, man, you're too old. You just started. You can't do it, man. You're coming from a small city, Germany." I had the dream was to become a professional boxer, and I thought, well, the place in Europe to do is the UK. So I moved to the UK. I think I eventually told my parents I'm going for study, but I actually had the vision of just, you know, wanted to be a professional boxer. Never knew how far I would go, and if I'm gonna I had like, I thought I was gonna be like a champion or something, like gonna win a national title. So that was always my hope, my dreams to do that, and that's why I had to go to the UK and start over there.
A question for you, Freddie. I got a question for you. The reason you don't have to answer this, but is the reason why you started boxing, like, you know, pursuing that dream in your late teens to your 20s, because you had the dream of being a footballer? I know you said you played football, right?
Yeah, so I played football. You guys call it soccer. Before, and so I got injured. That's why I went to the boxing gym with some friends, and I never looked back since. So when I walked in the gym since, I said, no, man, I want to do boxing. I want to be a boxer, because all my dreams were crash kites, basically, because I couldn't play. I could have had like several operations, but, you know, so young, getting injured already in soccer, it's like, you know.
Same thing happened to me. I feel that.
Yeah, it's a tough sport anyway. There's millions of people trying it, and so I thought, you know what, let me try something else. And like, I didn't know how good I'll get, or if I'm ever gonna win something, but I just thought, let me give it a try, and after a few months, and no, I really like that shit. I want to.
And you fell in love with the fight game. You fell in love with the ring and the gym, and you never look back from there.
No.
What would you say is one of the biggest lessons that you learned from, you know what I mean, being chasing a footballer dream and then now chasing a professional boxing dream, being a professional boxer? What was the biggest thing that you could say you learned from jumping full time into professional boxing?
Comparing these two sports, I don't think you can actually compare it, because I think boxing is really, really, really a man's sport. Like it's you can't compare. Like, when you play football, you fall down, you pretend to be hurt. While it's in boxing, you get hit, try and pretend you're okay. So it's the total opposite always.
Yeah.
But from the boxing side overall, it teach me so much, man. It's like you be so much disciplined, focused. You start obeying more. You humble yourself a little bit more. There's so many benefits you take out of there.
All right, yo, Freddie, like, so what's next for you? I hear that you have like some big news and a US debut. So can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so I'm talked to a few guys and they're trying to help me out. So on October 31st, that's where I'm gonna make my American debut, in Columbia, South Carolina.
So that's in like what, 2 weeks? So it's right around the corner now, right?
It's around the corner now, yeah.
And what kind of like card are you fighting on? Like, what promotion and who you're fighting? What do you know about the opponent?
On the James Toney promotion. James Toney, obviously Hall of Fame. Everybody knows James Toney. So he's doing his promotion now. So I spoke to the promoter, and he wanna help me out. He thinks I can go some places. So he said, okay, I'm gonna give you a fight, try out, and then we see from there.
That's big. That's interesting, right? Because we've had your last opponent, like Luther Clay, on the show on the back of his fight with Chris Congo. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that we're discussing is like, hey, who can we match you up with like opponents in the US, right? So looking at the landscape in the US, if you want to make a name out there, who would you have picked aside from the opponent that you've got right now? Like, are there any names in the 147 division that you're looking at in the US and that you'll jump in and fight straight away, basically?
I wouldn't say there's any names, because the 147, there's so many big names. There's so many top guys. I think that's why I had to like somehow fight in the United States if I want to be in the top, because looking at probably in the top 10 in 147, I think 3/4 of them are Americans anyway, and they're very, very skillful, strong fighters. So the goal is obviously to eventually going to fight one of these guys. That's the aim, of course.
That's nice. And like, obviously, I just mentioned like Luther also, right? So you had your fight in like I think it's November, December with Luther. Obviously, like, it wasn't the result that you were looking for. So are you seeing like a rematch with him somewhere down the line, or is it something that you're looking for?
Yeah, that's definitely that's something I want to do. I think he probably knows that about it by now as well. I actually spoke to him just after the fight, but I definitely would love to have a rematch just to make things right on my side. So 100%, I would love to have a rematch.
Did you watch his fight with Chris Congo, and what do you make of that?
I didn't watch the fight. I saw like bits of it. I saw that he got stopped. I don't know how how the fight went previous to that stoppage. So I can't really tell much about the fight. I don't know who was winning the fight, who was better. Obviously, Chris had the last say on it, but I don't know who was the fight before. But like I said before, when I fought with Clay, I know that if he's taking on another good fighter after me, he's probably gonna get stopped. Why I said it is because when I was in the ring with it, I wasn't 100%, and I know that I should have beaten him regardless. That's how fair. Seeing him moving forward, I said I think he went into the top, probably in the top 10 or something in the WBO by then. Said he's not ready yet. Like he needs to learn so much more. So then they took that fight, and this is what happened.
Interesting. I mean, it's interesting to hear you say that. Moving on to another domestic fight that has been made, and the reason why I'm just talking about that fight is because it's one of your good friend again that is involved. You've got Conor Benn versus Formella that is coming up soon, and Formella had a very good a decent performance against Sean Porter. But I do know that Formella is a friend of yours and a sparring partner. So how do you see that fight panning out? And do you want to get one of the winner? If you get that chance.
So they actually asked me to come over and help them out again for this fight. To fly me out
the Formella camp.
Formella camp, yeah, because I used to spar Conor Benn, so I know a little bit about him. Of course, he's coming just off a loss, but he said he'd been training, he'd been fine, he's okay. Obviously, he didn't just lose against anybody. He lost against Sean Porter, and they're on points. So you can take it kind of as a compliment as well, having confidence going into the next fight. Conor Benn, it's weird, you see them some fights against people he should have just clean out, and he haven't traveled with them, and then he haven't been matched so strong as well. But then when you think about it, Formella is not a big puncher. He's technical, good, but how would it be coming over, right? Fighting in the UK, that would be his second fight abroad. He'd been fighting only in Germany. I don't know how they're gonna score it. I don't know, if has the power to hurt, stop, or drop Ben. So
you're worried about the scorecard?
That's the big question. Yep.
Yeah.
You worried about the scorecard, Freddie?
I've seen his fight. He hits and he moves quite a lot. That's which you need to do as a champion to defend your belt.
But not as a B-side.
Get a belt. You need to come forward. You need to hurt the guy. You need to show that that you're willing to. So I don't know about that. That's the thing we have to find out, if he has the power or if he has the timing to hurt the guy. Because Conor Benn he's not bad, I spotted him a few times now. He's not bad.
How is his power? Because everyone talks about his power. How did you handle his power in sparring?
Yeah, he have some punch. You can feel it for sure. Not sure how, it's always different, but definitely he's quite explosive. From the technical side, not sure how how that will match. Because like I said, when I spot him, so I like to move a lot. So and I'm taller, longer than him, so I just kept him long. But Formella shorter than me. He's probably there of the same height. So it's very different boxing fight for them.
Yeah. Do you think would you jump at the opportunity to fight Conor Benn, and is it a fight that based on your sparring, you see that you would have no problem with, or you'll be comfortable in thinking that you can get the W?
Comfortable for sure. I wouldn't be confident saying, oh yeah, definitely I'm gonna mess him up or something, because it's a while ago we spar. Everybody's improving, everybody's changing. So he has a bigger name. We'll see what happened with him in the fight before, where I think he got dropped 2-3 times and he still got a result, right? So he definitely got the judges on his side. He got the name, he has the promoter backing him. So it's not gonna be an easy one. But I mean, half of my fights have been as a weight fighter anyway now. So I know how it is to fight away. I know how it is to, for them to set me up just to lose, and you come on top. So I kind of know that side now.
All right. And I mean, like, I don't know if you guys touched on it before I joined, but like, how has your preparation been, like, with the pandemic, and how has it affected you? And now that you actually have a fight signed, right? So how has the last camp been? Like, were you able to do everything you wanted to?
Yeah, so that was, I think, for everybody, it's just hit everybody like boom. We were out for a while, but now it's good to be back on track. Having a fight date, looking forward to it, training for it, gives you some extra motivation. 100%. This is for something I was looking forward the whole time. Obviously, but it's very tough if you don't have a promoter, or if you don't have, or you're fighting on small hole shows, or it depends. Then it's hard for you. So I'm actually very blessed to jump on the opportunity. Also fighting in another country again, learning experience and everything. So I'm looking forward to this 100%.
So that's cool. We got a question for you. What is one thing that you can say that you wanted to work on from your last fight to this fight coming up that you can't wait to put on display? I mean, you're not going to give us the game plan, but in terms of some things that you've seen in your last fight that you're like, okay, there's levels. You leveled up now. You know what I mean? What are some of those things?
Yeah, definitely think I need to be fighting a bit more aggressive. I've been trying to avoid that a little bit more, like kind of counter boxing, moving a lot. But I just have to go back and go forward a little bit more, which I haven't done enough in the Clay fight. Because my defense wise I was probably good, but then I didn't do enough from terms of like being more aggressive, throwing more hands. So this is what I tried. This is what I tried to work on in the camp. I want to come a little bit more forward and be more aggressive, definitely.
Just to piggyback off of that, maybe before you switch gears, I wanted to ask Freddie, what if you can put together an assembly of great fighters? Like, who would you say your style kind of mimics? Everybody has their own style, but you try to add something from some of the older legends, what I mean, in the game. Who would that be? Or who would those fighters be? Like, who's jab, right hand, whatever, so to speak.
I think it's a mixture between Muhammad Ali and Roy Jones. Because hold
on a second, Freddie. You know what's so funny? Y'all gotta put some respect on my name, because I was gonna say, you fight a lot like Roy Jones, and what I mean by that, you have that hands down or you need defense like Roy does. I'm like, Freddie. All right, go ahead. Sorry, my bad.
That's it. Yeah. So I think it's like the footwork kind of from Ali. I like to move a lot. I like to, then of course the hands down. Both actually have the hands down, but Roy got, he's jumping in with hooks and uppercuts and different angles. So definitely, and that's also my two top fighters.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, I mean, like that. Definitely, I see that elusive style and all that. I see both sides of it, right? So maybe not the awkward punches or awkward angle from Roy Jones, but definitely the defense and the slick movement there. That's pretty good, man. But going back slightly on the pandemic topic, right? So obviously you've seen, and I've asked you that question before, right? But you've seen shows where there's no crowd and it's all like a different type of atmosphere. Would you have liked to fight on one of those shows that we've seen in the UK, like either the Frank Warren or the Matchroom shows? And how do you think that would have like had an impact on you fighting with no crowd and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think I don't know how it would be the impact, because I don't know until I do it. But yes, I think it's just a strange. I know it could be working out positive, could be working out negative. Because sometimes you need a crowd to keep you going, especially when you're behind or something. But then, you can also hear your corner better, right? So it advises more, the little things. So it just depends what you take on. Like I said, most of my fights I fight as a away fighter anyway. so they have most of the time the crowd. So, you know, I don't
no difference here. Yeah,
less booing this time as well.
I hear it.
But yeah, of course, if that's the only way to do it at the minute, I don't mind fighting on any of the shows. I saw the ones from Frank Warren. I saw the one from Eddie Hearn. Personally, I like the one more from Eddie Hearn. It just looks just too quiet. The ones from it's just an empty hall, you know. And Eddie Hearn, it had a little bit more atmosphere, you know, fighting when it's in the dark and stuff in the evening, and you know it's outside. I think it's a bit better.
Cool. Hey, Freddie, question for you. Seeing that, you know, nobody's Roy Jones, but you got a fighting style kind of like Roy Jones, which uses a lot of legs and athleticism. Yeah. Give the people, you know what I'm saying, of America and the people around the world an insight to how your conditioning regimen is.
Yeah, so that's so true what you said, because it just really reminds me on, you know, when I started boxing so late, I didn't have the technical part, but I had the athleticism. So I was always like, you know, I was fast with the feet, fast with the hands, but I didn't know, you know, how to throw like that straight good combination. I had the strength as well, so that definitely helped me. Conditioning wise, yeah, I have my strength and conditioning, which I do. You know, some explosive power, train a lot of explosive power. So like heavy weights into fast body weight exercises. And then, of course, the boxing sides with my coach, where I do a lot of drills, you know, footwork, combination, head movement, so all of that, and then combine it all together.
Okay, and is that combined with miles as well too? You do a lot of road work?
You know what? I
more treadmill.
I used to, but because of my football injury, I can't do that much running. So my cardio, if I do it, is mainly on a bike, on a spinning bike or something like that. And that's same condition actually. So it's good because it strengthens your legs anyway. So that's yeah.
Okay.
All right. Hey, you fight in 2 weeks' time. I seem to remember you said that there will be a crowd there, or a small crowd, right? It's an outdoor event. Is that?
Oh, it's like you get about 800 people there.
800 people. Okay, yeah. That's good. Like I think like that's because, you know, the situation with no crowd was the same like all around the globe. But it seems like, you know, there are some parts in America where they're starting to accept crowds, so it gives like a little bit of optimism for bigger shows to come back on. I think like the is there going to be a crowd in the Tank versus Santa Cruz, Francis?
Yeah, that's why they moved it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's why they moved it. So I guess like that's pretty good, right? So, but still, it would be in a bubble, right? So when are you actually flying to America? It's only like, you know, 2 weeks away, right? So when are you leaving?
Hopefully, I'm flying out end of this week.
End of this week, and then straight in, like you're doing all the testing. They'll lock you down, and then
all of that. I don't know how it will be if I get there, but that's the thing. So, sorry, 1 second. I need to.
Yeah.
1 second. Yeah.
No problem. Yeah. So you know, I'm only asking those questions because I'm intrigued, right? I want to know like how this thing will just impact like the normal preparation. And usually, I think it's pretty standard to go like a week before. I thought that, you know, it might have gone like slightly earlier.
Just to adjust, but yeah, with everything now, it's kind of difficult, right? They don't want you kind of in there too long, and how long he got to quarantine, and all that stuff comes into play. It plays a big factor, and then it's on the mental too, because I mean, you've kind of been locked down, but you got to go through this whole process of screening and testing, and it gets a little bit annoying. So, and you're already on edge, you got to make weight and stuff like that. That's why I'm so curious in, you know what I'm saying, in Freddie as a fighter, you know what I'm saying, getting into his fight mind, you know what I mean, get an understanding. Like, I have a few more questions I wanted to ask him. I don't know if you wanted to go first, Midi, or should I go?
No. I mean, I'm pretty much done for the question. Just for the rest of the public, I don't know if you said, I just wanted to congratulate you once again on like the birth of your child, like only like 2 weeks ago now, or two and a half weeks ago now. So congrats once again, champ, and like Francis, like go ahead with the questions, man.
So like even that's perfect. Thank you for the segue, because that's like added motivation now for you to, you know what I'm saying, get up out of bed and when you're tired to push a little bit more. How is your dieting going on for your fight coming up in 2 weeks? Like how are you an all around a year round fighter, or do you know what I mean, take time off? Like how do you get into shape?
No, I'm actually like this lockdown period was the longest rest I've had. So normally I'm a all year round fighter. So I eat good, I train hard all the time. Because you never know, you might get a call tomorrow or something. So I'm always actually in shape. I don't really play with, because I think, see it like this, because it's your job, you're a professional. So you got to be professional all around the year, you know. So I'm always training and always eating well.
Okay, second question I got for you is you got to give the people your top 5 fighters of all time, and then your top 5 pound for pound. Now we know pound for pound is, you know what I mean, it's subjective.
Current, in
current.
Pound
so I want you to give me your top 5 of all time, and then give me your top 5 current pound for pound.
Oh, okay. So top 5 of all time. Man, that's a tough one. Say number 1.
You don't have to put it in no particular order, just to make it look easier. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes it easier. So definitely, like I said, I will have Ali and I will have Roy Jones in there. I will have Pernell Whitaker in there as well. Sweet Pea.
The 2 more.
Say who?
2 more.
2 more. I'll definitely had probably put Tyson in there as well.
Mike
Tyson. One more. You know, put up. I don't even think about one now, but there must be so many. So many.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of names, you know what I mean? I don't want to influence you by saying any names. That's why I'm kind of quiet.
I don't say a name and then say, no, actually, I should have used that name.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll think about one in a second.
Okay, give me your current top 5 pound for pound right now. No particular order. You can just, or if you can, give me 1 to 5, that'd be good.
Okay, so right now, current, I was probably put Crawford number 1. Then not even based on his performances, but based on his wins and stuff. I will put Canelo there. I'll put Pacquiao in there as well.
Okay.
So that's 3, right?
Yep.
Probably, of course, you got to put Mayweather somewhere in there as well. Well, he's not current, right?
Yeah, he's not current. He's retired. Yeah.
I might just want to put him in the other one then, actually.
Okay, so that's number 5 right now. I was about to say, you leave it out Mayweather? Okay.
Yeah, because he just recently retired. He's still, thinking he might come back or not. You never know with him. So, okay, so I got my 5 there. So I got, how many I had? 3?
You had 3.
You got 2 more. Like you're like.
You had Crawford, Canelo, and Pacquiao. That's what you had.
Pacquiao. I'll probably put in right now, current, because
right now, as of yesterday.
Yeah. So then I have to put Lopez in there as well, because he beat Lomachenko, and Lomachenko was up there.
Okay, one more.
And I think I will probably put Usyk in there as well.
Now that's Usyk. I personally don't rate heavyweights as pound for pound. I think that they're in a category by themselves. That's just my personal opinion.
He was a cruiserweight though.
I know, but he's heavyweight now. But yeah, go ahead.
that's
no, because a lot of people have Tyson and AJ and Wilder in the pound for pound list, right?
And I don't. That's why, like, obviously, it's so early to say now as well, because obviously Fury, he did his job, but you know, he was, I don't know, it's like, for me, it's being consistent the whole time. You know, he had off 3 years. Of course, he had 2 big wins coming back, or a couple. But then I don't know, he's not same as AJ. He's not, because he had a stupid loss in between, you know. It's like, not consistent. But Usyk, for me, it's not just because he's undefeated and he was the first undisputed one, but also because he when you check, all of his fights, they were always abroad. All of us, he never fought for a vacant belt. He always beat the champion, and he always beat the champion in his hometown, in his home country. So I think that's for me. That's me, because of what he did and where he got the belts from. It's not been handed to him. Like, it's not like Canelo. You know, he pick and choose his opponents. Like that guy, nobody wanted to fight him, so he had to go there and make it happen.
He earned that champion. He earned that champ.
He earned it.
Yeah, he definitely earned the status to pick who he wanted. But I wanted to ask you also just one more question for me. I think out of your 3 losses, which one do you really want to get back?
I mean, all of them.
Like what?
All of them. Because the first 2, I didn't even thought I lost the fight. The first 2, I didn't even thought I lost the fight. Like I said, I come in as a away fighter. And if I would have fought anywhere else as a home fighter, I probably had, like, I think one was by 1 stupid point, something like that.
Yeah.
And the other one, I wasn't 100%, like I was fighting at 140. And I'm a big welterweight. You know, I could fight 154. I should never even been that down. But still, like, regardless, I thought I'd done enough to win the fight. But then
At least... No, go for it.
The last fight, I felt like this was my first loss. It felt like my first loss, but it felt like it's such a stupid loss. It felt like it's so unnecessary. Because if I would have listened to myself a little bit more, I would have waited a little bit, you know, because I don't know if, because I got ill a few days before the fight. So, but I was so hungry I want to fight. This is a great opportunity, you know. I don't want to get a slip away, I should have probably listened to it, because now, you know, I could have possibly be fighting March or something. But I just wanted to fight so bad, because I thought, that would have been my third title fight in the 4th country in the same year. So I thought, I just want to have a perfect ending. It's meant to be, and it wasn't. So
you learned from the lesson of just trusting yourself a little bit more, being more patient.
I was listening more to people saying, no, you're gonna take this fight. Don't worry about it. You be okay, you know. And then I started thinking, I'll be okay. I even gonna beat him 50%. You know, that's how confident I was. Immediately you were on camp with me. I was doing 15 rounds sparring, 30 seconds resting between with 3 or 4 people, all heavier than me. You know, I was
beating me up. That's not right, man.
I was in great shape, you know. And I had a fight, I think, a month before or something, or a couple of weeks before. So I thought, man, I just, you know. But then I got, you know, when you're on the top, it's also so hard to, you know, so fine line.
That's one thing you mentioned earlier, or like Francis asked you earlier, like what's your training regimen and all that, and you do something that I have not yet seen anyone else do. You know, when we spar, like we go, let's say like 3-4 rounds, we do our thing, but in between rounds, instead of taking like the minutes rest, he shadow box for 30 seconds at a high intensity whilst I'm resting or whilst the other person is resting. And then he only takes like the 30-second rest. Like, so I've seen it where people take like 30-second rest only instead of the full minute.
Yeah.
But he actually works for the first like 30 seconds, and he works at a high intensity shadow box, then rest 30 seconds, then goes again.
That's insane.
In terms of the fitness, the fitness is actually very, very good. Like, and I've seen that all the time. Every time I've been in camp with you, that's something, you know. I've never even tried it. I said, like, you forget it. He's a crazy man. I'm not doing anything.
Hey, Mitty, thank you very much, because that's what I was asking Freddie. I wanted him to give the people just a little bit of insight to like what makes him unique. You know what I mean? Because to be a fighter, you got to have some unique skill sets mentally, but also physically. And I wanted to know, being a former footballer, the way that they train. But boxing is a total different type of athlete. You know what I mean? The level of training is so much higher. But like, what are the things that you do like that in between rounds, 30 seconds? You know what I mean? Give us those little quirks, those little things.
I thought about these things because this is so normal for me now. So when it gets closer to fight, we do 30 seconds rest. Well, some people do, but then we work 3.5 minutes instead of 3 minutes always. Exactly. And then we build ourselves up, from 8, 10, 12, 15 rounds of sparring. Always like every 2 rounds, maybe another guy comes in. Like I said, most of the time they're bigger than me as well. So from the conditioning side, that's why I know if I can do all of this, it's gonna be a walk in the park fighting somebody who's my size, and for a minute rest and only for 10 rounds or something like that. That's easy. So when you look at my last fight back, normally I'm somebody from the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. This is why I go up. That's why I keep going. And it was the total opposite. After 4 rounds, 5 rounds, I got tired, man. I was dead. I was like, shit, I don't know what happened to my body. And I think it's because I haven't fully recovered from my illness yet. So that's why after 4 rounds, I just got tired again. And because the first 4 rounds, I was like, man, this is easy. This is easy. Like, I thought I was going to stop him in a couple more rounds. And then from after round 4, I think in the second round, I even hurt him. And then after round 4, I was like, shit, I don't know what's going on with my body.
To be fair to him, though, also, like, his style is like come forward all the time and all that. He's also a tough guy. But like, I was at that fight, and definitely I can see exactly what you're saying, right? The type of fighter you are. That surprised me when you just kind of started to go down with your fitness. And I was like, wow, either Clay has got something really crazy in his hands or something, like, and he's got some like nice power, or like, there's something that's quite off, right? So but
this is one of the attributes that definitely has, because of the football side before, is the conditioning. So I'm always fit. I can always do 10 rounds, always, like, I throw a lot of hands because I'm always fit. And I wasn't able to show that in my last fight.
You got that good win.
Francis, I don't know if like, do we have like any Patreon questions out there?
That's what I'd like to know. I was wanting to ask. I was waiting to. I heard Nesta earlier. I wanted to ask him. I'm not really sure.
All right. Like, so Freddie, we usually have like questions that are asked by our most lawyers listeners. I'm not sure if we do have some, because I think like we had like some issues earlier. But if not, like, I'm sure we'll be able to get you back. I'm sure people are interested to hear, especially if you do well, like on your fight in 2 weeks, like you're now becoming like more known to the US audience, and just there's few people on your card actually that we are used to talking to here on the Boxing Voice. Like, we talked to a guy called Ofasio, I believe he's on the card also. We spoke to him like recently, Ofasio Falcon. There's also Timothy Moulton, and then, like I said, there's like Patrice Harris, like son, right? So Patrice Harris Jr. is on the card. So those are quite exciting names. So I'm happy that you're on that card as a co-main event, because it opens up like your brand to the US, right? So
that's the aim as well.
So Mitty, they said the people are saying that there's no Patreon post.
Yeah, so I think we had an issue. We had an issue with that. So
I'm just gonna ask a few more questions to Freddie. Not looking past your next opponent. You know what I mean? In a perfect world, if you got the opportunity, if you got it, the stoppage win in your next fight, and the opportunity presented for you to fight a Chris Congo who just beat Luther Clay, would you take that fight? And how would you see yourself putting up competing?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if the opportunity comes up, if everything goes like the money's right and all that stuff, business side as well. Of course, I never like turn the fight down anyway. But it's just all have to be right. It all have to be worth it, because before, I think I got offered fighting before, but then it was kind of like a downgrade. because I said, well, for example, I won the Southern Area belt, and then I moved on to fight for the WBO or something like that. So I said, why should I go down and fight for that belt again? It doesn't really benefit me. So I said, no, I don't need to fight that now, right? So I wanted to go up, obviously, to pursue better and higher things.
Okay, I hear that. Somebody must be unmuted in the background. Sorry for that noise you're hearing in the background.
No, that's Freddy's like the baby. His baby.
Oh, okay. The little baby. Okay.
His newborn. Yeah.
So being that Congo is the same, almost the same height as you, right? Close enough to the same height. You could tell that in the fight with Congo and Clay, that the height and the reach advantage was playing a big factor into the fight. Do you think that that's something that you don't really have to worry about if you were to fight a Chris Congo?
No, I don't really prepare for that anyway. Like whether it's tall or shorter than me, it's always different in the fight. It's just how you use it. So, and I don't. For me, I don't mind if it's taller or shorter. Like, it's how it's as long as he's in the same weight. That's cool for me.
Okay.
Everybody has their advantages.
Go ahead, Mitty.
No, I mean, for me, I covered pretty much all the questions. It's a bit harder because I'm asking those questions where I actually know the answers to most of them because I speak to Freddie, but I want it to come from him basically, right? So
Mitty, give us a little bit of insight into the sparring and the training. So from your side, being you got a coach's breakdown, like how how's his work rate? How's his ring IQ? Give the people a little bit of insight because you're in there, right?
That's what it is. He said it. Freddie's defensive skills are really, really good, and that's not surprising that you hear that the fighters that he mentions are fighters that he look up to and he emulate the styles. And then a defensive fighter always has really good ring IQ, in my opinion, right? That comes with that basically. You're defensively minded, so you're always thinking next step. But it's not just about the defense. It's also very, very fast. Counters are coming very quickly. If you stick your jab out there, you leave it a little bit too long, there's always a right hand that comes and reminds you that don't leave your jab out there too long. So the speed, the stamina that we talked about, it's something that you'll always have. Or at least that I always seen when I've been in camp with Freddie, and definitely when I've been in the ring with him, it definitely is not comfortable, and it's a learning curve for me. I love being in the ring with people like Freddie because they teach you something and they show you that there's a different level out there. So it's definitely way above my level, but it's good to be in there with him, right? And I believe in him.
Some experience, right?
I mean, I gained some experience, but it's not really about me, right? It's just being there and just believing in someone and just believing that they can fulfill their potential. Actually, as one thing that I wanted to mention, Freddie, and I don't think we've touched on that, but it's the work that you do through the foundation with Boxro, and then just trying to develop Liberia a bit more, trying to do some work in Ghana and all that. Can you touch on that work that you do? Because I think that's awesome, right? It's not just about yourself, but it's also giving back to the community, giving back to your roots in Liberia and also in Ghana. So if you could explain, the works that you do through Boxing is Love and the foundations, that Boxro is putting together, right? So.
Yeah, so basically, sorry, you hear the baby crying.
It's all good. Go ahead, you good.
So basically, born in Liberia, for me, it was always the thing, want to do something, help people, and not in the way you give them money, because they're going to ask for more. For me, it was always giving back and helping out, so that creating opportunities. And the Boxing is Love organizational project was something, we designed to give youth a hope, to get them not just off the street and in the gyms or something, but also, like I said, boxing is so much more. It's you get disciplined, you obey, it helps you in so many more ways, which is great. in general for your own life, you know, and things of what you want to accomplish. So this was one of the main thing, and obviously doing it in Liberia, where 70% of the population is under 25 years old. So you got a lot of young kids going the wrong paths. You know, obviously we had the war and we had the Ebola. You know, there's so much. There's no one to look after you. So to go there and say like, look guys, I'm from the same place as you're from. I've been just blessed to come out, but want to come back and try to give you some opportunities, because I've been blessed to get these opportunities. And whatever it is, you know, my passion is just boxing, but there's so many more things you could do outside from that. So just give them opportunities to do that.
No, respect, Freddie. That's pretty good. That's awesome. Like I've been following that work, and I'm sure it's inspiring people. So it's like I said, it's just much bigger than just boxing alone, right? So shout out to you. And I know that you probably need to get ready for training, and also you need to take care of the baby. So we don't want to just take much more of your time, champ. So before you go, if you can give us like your social media, and also just like tell us where we can watch that fight that you have in 2 weeks time in the US, right? So
yeah, so social media, I'm like on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Team Kiwit or Freddie Kiwit. Find me all over there. And then the fight, you can watch it live on, I think it's called Vyre, like VYRE. That's a live stream. I think it's going to be being streamed in, I think, all continents. I think in Africa for sure, Europe, America, of course. So definitely that's one of these places I can do. It's going to be streamed.
Cool, great. Like I said, once again, thanks for your time, and I guess I'll see you on Wednesday, and good luck for your fight for the rest of
Freddie, thank you. Francis, all the way from Toronto, Canada, man. Much love. You know what I'm saying? Let's go, champ, man. Good luck on your next performance. You dig?
Much appreciated, guys. Thank you.
All right, take care.
Congrats on the new baby.
Thank you.
All right. Cool. All right, Ness, there you have it. Back over to you, man.
Yeah, yes, man. Sorry, guys, man. I'm just extremely busy. I'm trying to do possibly an overtime just to update everybody, but
we understood, bro. Like, we know that when you dip out like that, there's something important to deal with, man. So good.
How did we admit it? We held it down. Like, it's what we do, man.
Yeah, I mean, we tried.
I was listening, though. I heard everything. I heard everything.
We did it. Hold on. What do you mean we tried, man? Give yourself some more credit.
I tried.
I listened, bro. We was carrying this, bro.
I was there for the entire interview. I heard everything, especially. I tried to interrupt when you brought up the fact that he shadow boxes in the corner. I was super, stoked about that.
It's not his shadow boxes. He goes you shadow box, and then you go at one point even they just have a 1 kilo dumbbell, and it just bam 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 bam. That's the intensity, right? And then I'm still recovering. I'm like, fuck, man, I've got 1 minute to recover, and this guy is going mad for 30 seconds. And yeah, man, but I mean that's good. I guess that's different training technique, right? So
yeah, I was impressed by that, and I was obviously listening when you guys were talking to Luther Clay, and I didn't understand why you want to see him fight Chris Congo. He's got to get a win.
I mean that's what it's.
You were talking about the card. That's what I didn't hear. Who else is on the card? I heard you said Ofasio was on the card.
Ofasio Falcon, Timothy Morton, and then I think there's quite a few fighters from the Washington DC area, because Patrice Harris has I think maybe 2 of his sons, or if not one of his son on there. Boog the Padman, the guy who's the trainer or one of the trainer of Isaac Dogby, right? And I think Freddie was actually supposed to go and spend some time in that camp for that fight, but he decided to stay in the UK with his trainer, right? So I mean that's an interesting card.
But where'd you? I don't see any of that. Where'd you find that?
The weird thing is, it was on Freddie's box rec I want to say 2 days ago,
Yeah.
it's gone from his box rec. But if
Yeah.
you just
Gone.
look at Timothy Moulton and go at his fight and then click on the event and you'll see all the people on there. So Timothy Moulton is still on there and on box rec. And let me tell you who he's fighting. He's
I'm
fighting a guy
excited
called
for that, man.
Cedric Washington. And then you just go. You say Patrick Harris, which is like Patrick, and then you have Reggie Harris Jr. and then you have Ofasio Falcon, right? So those are the names that are recognized from TBV and all that. So
Yeah. No, I'm excited for Timothy, man. He finally gets a shot, man. Very happy for him. He jumped on the scene by being a sparring partner and showing that he's a hustler, man, and got in there. Yo, but it's a gigantic card, brother. I wonder if this is really gonna happen.
It's an outside event. Outside event with up to 800 people, from what Freddie was telling me before, right? So I don't know. I think I don't know. Something might be happening because he's been removed from that card. But I know that he's still traveling, right? So we were dealing with like visa stuff like earlier, right? So. Yeah, man.
Wow, this is a big card. I hope it takes off. A lot of names. I mean, wow. This is like 20 people.
Yeah, but a lot of them TBA. I don't know if they stacked the card like just hoping that or expecting that people won't be able to make it all the way through, right? And there'll be a few dropouts and stuff like that.
Inoue fights that day versus Maloney, and so does Michaela Mayer in her big fight versus Brodnicka, whatever. Brovnica. But yeah, man.
Right. Guys, I have to get back to work.
No problem, champ. Thanks for jumping in and taking over.
No problem. All right.
Champ.
All right.
Ooh,
We're going out to the callers. Let's see who's up next. Caesar, Las Vegas, talk to us. C's, just listening? All right, there you go. What's going on?
Oh, how's my background? I don't want to hold up the show.
I mean, you in the back. We hear you with your work, but do your thing. Go for it.
Let me just give you my top 5 pound for pound real quick. Since we're talking about that, I'd say after this fight, after this weekend, it'd be 1 Canelo, 2 Crawford, 3 Tio, 4 Earl, and 5 I'd have to give it to like a Manny Pacquiao. But that's my real quick top 5, yo. Great show, great interview. TV for life.
Caesar, thanks for calling in. We're going out to Seattle, Washington.
Mr. PBC, baby.
BoxingVoice.com. I'm the flyest. Canelo talking about he believes he can win. Go to my kitchen. Get the sharpest knife. Cut the bullshit out. I don't care what you do good. I do every fucking thing great.
Mr. PBC, baby.
Yo. So the topic is Tio's number 1 on pound for pound list.
Nah, where you have him ranked? What's your pound for pound list? The two lists have been updated, and Tio's ranked on both.
Can you say that again? You kind of broke up.
2 lists have been updated, and Tio is ranked on both. So we're asking the public where you have him ranked.
I never really do pound for pound, but I mean, what he did that night, what a dude that was, pound for pound already and unified, I would want to put him at number 1, truthfully, because he done what not a lot of people were doing. I mean, yeah, Canelo's doing that, but I'm talking about people who are supposed to be really, really good or not doing. Yeah, that's like my call. Kind of got to get back into work.
All right, champ. We going to across the pond, Idris. What up?
You can hear me, yeah?
We hear you.
We pound for pound list.
Yeah. Your pound for pound list.
I got Crawford number 1, Canelo Inoue. I've got to put Lopez in the top 5, 100%. I've got him number 4.
Bruh, Inoue's biggest win is Nonito. How you got him ahead of all those people, man?
Yeah, but this guy started at them minimum weights. Them skeleton weights.
Yeah.
And
So go ahead and name some of the people he beat, other than Nonito.
He's almost undisputed at his weight right now. You know what?
He beat? Name the name.
Bro, he won the WBSS.
Who he beat? Name the name.
You know what? Yeah, look. Inoue, check his box rec, innit? He's the guy's
Exactly.
4-day weight division champion.
Bruh.
No, but here's the point I'm trying to make. You know what? Let me.
He a Hall of Famer because he beat Jamie McDonald.
Yes, listen. I'm coming to eat some crow as well in my course. So I picked Lomachenko. I was totally wrong. If I was Lopez, I'll do a rematch because I think he can do that wrong side, like finish Chocolatito.
Champ. Name somebody on the Inoue resume is all I'm saying, man. We going to. Did we go to J-Matt? J-Matt, what up?
You know how these bitches is in the sport. Total disrespect. Kid has no class, no style at all. I'm a gorilla, I'm a dog. I'm a dog, I'm a gorilla.
The smartest thing you can do is to stay away from terrorists.
It can't be the boogeyman if I'm chasing him. You want to bet?
You bet 100,000 on that.
Let's bet $1 million.
Easy. Let's bet $1 million.
Yo, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
As great as what Teo accomplished yesterday, which he did be the hype and the sensation, I don't think it should be passed on. However, I never viewed Lomachenko as pound for pound, but I did come around to respecting his talent as the boxer, which is why I picked him. So no, I don't have He still got he got a champion at that weight division. He still got names. He's young, up and coming. He still got more room to prove it though. So my top 5 is Crawford. My number 1 is Crawford. My number 2 is Canelo. My number 3 is Demetrius Andrade, 3-time weight division champion. My number 4 is Jamal, and my number 5 is Jamel. I heard you smack your lips, Ness. Damn, it's opinionated. That's my call.
To help. Oh, he's a 3-division champ. Well then, okay. Well, Canelo beat a few of those. You know what I'm saying? You know.
Yes, he did.
So I don't really understand, but it's all right, man. It's all right. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. That's what this is. Pound for pound is subjective, man. So I ain't mad at nobody. Like I said, you was projecting, so you expected something, so I gave you what you expected. JT, talk to us.
So interesting that you come across like a nice guy, but you're really a piece of shit. Hey, with that comment. No, that was a piece of fuck you. That was a piece of shit. You know, we're doing live TV. Man, I don't care. What's it gonna do about it?
I'll kill this mother. Why do you have to talk like that? Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. You have a problem? Turn off your station. I'm the best ever.
Yeah, y'all can hear me?
Yep.
Clear.
Hello?
Yep.
Yeah. What's up? I don't really care to have a pound for pound list because I never had Lomachenko on my pound for pound list. You know, he got a few good names on his resume. He doesn't have a big resume. Everybody's crediting him for his amateur style, which is he is a good amateur. And that can't take that away from him. But that don't make Teofimo. I'm not gonna put him on a pound for pound list because he beat Lomachenko because a lot of people hyped all these boxing experts was hyping him up as a fighter. But the only one that made the pound for pound list to me is Terrence Crawford. Even though I like Errol Spence over him, I just feel like Terrence Crawford accomplished more than Errol Spence. Errol been only at one weight division. When he started moving up in weight divisions, I could put him on the pound for pound list. Canelo, I will give him credit, but I just don't like how he moved.
Cut it.
My Gene Bed, talk to us.
Good morning, everyone.
What's up?
Morning.
All right, so I'm going to keep it kind of short. I'm just going to give you my top 10, which is ridiculous, and I know this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Canelo, number 1. Usyk, number 2. Bud, number 3. Jermell, number 4. Tyson, number 5. Teo, number 6. Earl, Number 7, Triple G. Number 8, Pacquiao. Number 9, Rigo. Number 10. I'll check you out on the next one.
He lost me when he said Usyk was like top something.
Yeah.
I stopped even listening after that. CYP.
Yo. I want to drop this real quick fact. When Chocolatito got beat by Wangek was on a 3-year win streak, 15 wins, 15 knockouts. He beat Chocolatito not once, twice, and knocked him out. Nobody was calling in talking about he should be pound for pound number 1 because he beat ESPN's pound for pound number 1. Keep your criteria the same. That's why CYP be on it. Now, when it comes to the pound for pound top 5, Crawford number 1, Canelo. I got Wilder because weight is about pound for pound. Spence and Mikey are my top 5. The other ones I'll read down, but I do got Jamel and Jamal in my top 10, and also got Loma at 8. You can't take away what Loma has done through the weight classes because it's about how good you could do with the bigger man and how good you could do with the great smaller man. That's what makes you pound for pound. When Bruce Lee created it, that was the point of it. Pounds, how big you are, how good you are against big dudes and great small dudes. That's what pound for pound is. Y'all got to get your criteria together so y'all can say.
He just canceled out his own point. That's funny. What do you mean the bigger dudes and the little dudes? So who's the heavyweights fighting bigger? Isn't they all heavyweight? Anyways, just move on this.
I hear you. Sony, Cincinnati. Just listening. Steve, Chicago.
Hey, Daddy, this is Dollar Beat.
I drink soda, I eat pizza. I hang out with chicks all day. These fighters still can't beat me. They fighting every day, they in the gym every day. Just give me 6 weeks, and I got it.
BoxingVoice.com.
Yo, good morning.
What up?
Yeah. You know, we got to take some people back in time. If this win that Tio did, this would have been like Canelo beating Floyd when they met. Okay? So people got to think about that. They, you know, whether we like it or not, that's the way, you know, it was portrayed, you know. So really, if you look at that, I got Canelo 1, I got Tio 2, and then I probably got Fury 3, and then maybe I got, I don't know after that. It gets mumbo-jumboed after that. But those are top 3 for me. That's how I see it. I put the heavyweights into pound for pound. We shouldn't. I see everybody's ranking them now, even the bigger media outlets. So for me, that's how I got it. And pretty much after those 3, that you know, you can put whoever, you can mix and match, kind of.
Cut it.
Alrighty then. Looks like CYP with a counter punch.
Francis. The heavyweight division has the biggest weight discrepancy of any weight class times 10. You could be 201 pounds and fight a dude who's 300 pounds. Do you not know boxing? Like, I ain't got on your head because I personally don't think you worth it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to jump on you. I like you. But, my man, if you don't know that a heavyweight could be a small heavyweight and fight a giant, then you have never watched boxing in your life until you got on this show. Wilder is not the same size as Fury in nobody's metric. Not on the football field, the basketball field, the tennis court, no sport of nowhere in life are those two dudes close to the same size. 220 versus 270, cut down to 270. Cut down. So Fury weighs like 300 pounds on the regular, my guy. Cut it out. CYP out.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm just piggybacking off your argument. You said that fighters who move through weights get more of a higher ranking on the pound for pound list than fighters who just stay at one weight and dominate and get all the titles, like a Terrence Crawford, like you put in your list. So I'm saying heavyweights don't move through weights. They just fight dudes who are different sizes, just like every other weight class. But that's neither here nor there. We agree to disagree. It ain't nothing to it. Let's keep it moving. Nice, what up?
Chief Red 4 says, how Fury over Joshua though? Thinking emoji. Boxing expert says, great fighters start early. Look at the greats. Shout out Canelo, who started at like 14 and shit. 15 years old as a pro. We also got a cash app from Jemmy, who wants that Tio chant.
I wake up feeling like Mayweather. They calling me a prospect, but I know I'm way better. Moving up, man, I'm too big for you featherweights. In and out the ring, niggas violate. We demonstrate the city full of them bright lights. I'm always ready on fight night. Speed bagging and pad work. Running miles to my calf hurt. They asked about the place that I grew up. Shit get dechecked, man, I'm fresh out the sewer. Swinging like Wilder, split your medulla. Had to make something out of manure. Niggas highballing, way out the budget. Can't get a fight, competition keep ducking. Forcing me to move up and wait. Put me in the ring with the champ, knock him out, it ain't nothing. We used to get our food with them stamps. Out here running miles when I cramp. I'm working hard, put that on guard. I live my life like a champ, yeah.
Tio's champ, you know that Tio's champ. I said that Tio's the champ, you know that Tio's the champ.
Every fight that I'm in, we win, we pop bottles. Feeling like Mike in his prime, shout out, cuss the motto. I'm locked in, way more focused than last year. Half the sprints, we spawn like 15 rounds, no headgear. Holly shuffle, my toes tap. Shannon Briggs, let's go, champ. Blast jaw, stiff jab, knife you down on the flow, Mac. My arms bigger than Bo Mac. I'm a champion and that's no cap. Name a fighter that's even close, niggas have to give me a throwback. Jack Johnson, Sugar Ray, the greatest Ali in his prime. Marvin Hagler, Larry Holmes. We grew up eating scraps, now all we fight for straps. Got my mama out the trap, shit, I live my life like a champ.
DJ Ness on the ones and twos.
Colorado, stand up, Stonebone, talk to us.
Man, that's fire as this shit I'm smoking right now, man. Shout out to the champ, man. That was fire. I got to my since pound for pound is so fictional, it's just I usually have like a top 3. And then the rest of the 7 are kind of like interchangeable. You know what I mean? Like, if Earl was to beat like a Crawford, even though he hadn't moved through divisions, I'm going to move him up because he's beating guys that is doing that. So, and then if he go to 54 and become a champion, then you would be like, yeah, that's number 1 type pound for pound stuff. Which, if T.O. were to beat a Devin Haney and then move up, and beat like a Taylor Ramirez type, no doubt I could be like, oh yeah, that's number 1, number 2 type work. Right now, I got Bud and Canelo number 1 and 2. And it's not a myth.
Cut it. Super chat, we
I was gonna get to them. You got him?
I'm refreshing if you got it pulled up.
Yeah, I got him from Boxing Expert. I think that's the last one we got. Great fighters start early. Look at the greats.
And then we got sarcastic sarcasm that says these pound for pound lists are insane. It's Canelo and Lopez at the top. Third is Fury, and others ain't doing what none of these guys have done. Keep smoking, crack. Okay. Boston Jared with another one says, T.O. beating Loma is not comparable to if Canelo had beat Floyd. Floyd had 2 top 5 pound for pound scalps on his resume. Hernandez, Corrales, Loma had none. 2 top pound-for-pound scouts. Loma had none. Loma didn't. I can't even. Well, I'm sure Rigondeaux was on the pound-for-pound list. Somebody, Supermax, help me out. I'm sure Rigo had to be on the pound-for-pound list. Had to be.
Yeah, Rigo had to be.
Rigo had to be. Come on, man. He's that dude. I mean, I ain't saying he was top 5, but he was up there. He had to be top 10. Rigo, come on. Come on. Anyway, going out to Jay Will. What's up, man? Jay Will. You alive? What's going on? You just listening from work today? You busy? All right, we're going out to Jay Will in Ohio. What up, champ?
Yeah, man. What's up, man? Good show, good show. I just got to keep it. I got to keep my energy the same, man. And, I wanted T.O. to win, but even though I wanted him to win, I can't make him number one because when Andy Ruiz, when he beat Anthony Joshua, he wasn't the number one heavyweight to me. When Buster beat Mike Tyson, he wasn't the number one heavyweight to me, let alone pound for pound.
Yeah. But champ, you're mixing 2 different things. Being the number 1 heavyweight and being number 1 pound for pound is 2 different things. 2 different
But I'm saying,
things.
though, like Mike Tyson was the dog of all dogs, and we already know that if you beat Mike Tyson, you should be up there. But Buster Douglas wasn't even the number 1 heavyweight, let alone pound for pound. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's not.
Yo, I don't like the comparison because the heavyweight, you could be knocked out. T.O. went out there and outboxed the man that they said that he could only knock out. You understand what I'm saying?
Tell him again.
They said the only way he was going to win it was by knockout. He went out there and did the do. He showed you, I'm on that level. I am that dude. Call me Teofimo in the Matrix.
But let me finish this up. But the reason why they don't make those guys who beat the guy at the time, pound for pound, or the number 1 guy, because normally they'll turn around and lose that very next fight when they got to fight that same competition. So look at Buster. He lost that very next fight. Who else? Look at Ruiz. He lost that very next fight. So you don't become the man just because you beat the man, because normally you were that big of a odds of a underdog because you're not.
Bro, you picking Loma in the rematch? You picking Loma in the rematch?
No.
I did. Because he ain't losing the second one. He going to beat him to the body, make him bleed blood. I said that wrong. Make him piss blood.
But yeah, that's my call, though. All
right. Nah, but for real, man. Yo, second fight, man. If Tio don't watch
I
tape.
got news.
What up?
I got news. So, the Ring magazine, let me tell you.
They updated?
Let me tell you. Hold on. No. You asked me about the Rigondeaux. Where he was on the pound for pound list, right?
Yeah.
So this is in 2017.
Uh-oh.
2017, the Ring magazine had Rigondeaux number 3 on the pound for pound list. Had Gennady at number 1.
Ow.
Had Terrence at number 2.
Damn, long time. Terrence been up there for a minute. That's 3 years already. Sheesh.
Sorry. Yeah. And for ESPN, ESPN had Lomachenko in the number 2 spot behind GGG, and Rigondeaux was number 7.
Well, Rigo was there, man. That's all that mattered. I knew it, man. That's a pound for pound win. You can't, I picked Rigo, man. I thought I thought the weight discrepancy. I know a lot of people in retrospect,
Shout
you
out
crazy.
Boxing, by the way.
And then a lot of people in retrospect were like, oh, you crazy. But again, I seen flaws in Loma. I didn't believe the hype ever. I picked Salido, and I was right. And then I picked Gary. And, I still want to do a film study on it. I can't find a tape, man. I want to do a film study on Gary Russell Lomachenko, man.
Let's do it. I've been waiting to do that. I'll find it for you.
I can't find it. Yeah, find a tape. Listen, I'm not saying Gary won. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not even saying it was close. I just want to rewatch it. You know what I'm saying? But I did pick Gary. But, at the time, that was for a vacant title. Gary wasn't yet a champion. Gary has gone back on to become a champion. And that win is also strong for Loma. Strong. You know what I mean? But we are going to boomerangs. Chill. I'm coming to you. Coach Myers, tell him I got to go to you first because you always letting me know that I skip you. Boomerang.
Nah, it's all good. Hey, give Jim my boomerang.
He said give J Mac his boomerang. So J Mac, talk to us.
Hello, y'all can hear me?
We hear you.
Yeah, I'm like I said, man. Shout outs to T.O. I was surprised. I do agree with you. Like, I was one of the ones that thought he had to knock him out. I didn't know if he could outbox Lomachenko, and I guess I got caught up into the white height and what have you. And then Teofimo was exposed on so many levels in that fight against only so many mediocre things that Teo beat him with. The way Teo beat him was mediocre in the Philly shell. Like I said, hand speed and reflex. Or as my Andrade pick, we talk about what guys who move up in skill sets. And last time I checked, whether we agree with who he fighting or who not fighting him, because you did have somebody on here.
See, the issue with the Andrade J Mac is that these alleged skills, he's showing them versus dudes who are tremendously underskilled compared to him. I think the last competitive fight he was in was Willie Nelson. And Willie Nelson is, I'm not gonna say historic. I'm gonna say Willie Nelson is like, it's just, I think it's been reported, that he doesn't have good camps, right? Like he had issues. Who was Kelly Pavlik's trainer? Oh my God, Youngstown, Ohio trainer. Come on, Ness. Come on.
Come on, Ness.
Oh my God. Oh! Oh, this dude used to have so many Ohio fighters, man, back in the day. I don't want this to come off sounding bad, but he's a white guy. Oh my God, I can't believe it. But anyway, that was Willie Nelson's manager, trainer. He would take dudes in the house, you know what I'm saying, who he believed in, that were inner city, guys, and they had issues. He would bring them in and take them to Youngstown and build champs, man. And that's when Willie was at his best. But Willie had an issue staying in shape. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Coach Myers with the super chat. He says Willie Nelson did beat Harrison, though, Ness. And you hear me giving Willie Nelson credit. I just said
Jack Lowe.
Thank you. I just said that might arguably be the most competitive fight he was in, champ. Like that's the dude with the most, you know what I'm saying? Like recognition, even though he himself was always in an issue. Like he had Lou DiBella, Jack Lowe. It was mad stuff going on, man. So he never really got the like, boom, take off. You know what I'm saying? He never got 3 good fights in a row or 3 good camps in a row for that matter. But I ain't mad at you, J-Mac. I'm just saying it's arguable for me. I'm not doing eye tests. If it wasn't for this win and him beating a dude that was so overly hyped and taught to be the next to be the next Ali, and they do all these comparisons to the defense, then I wouldn't be going this hard. Y'all know I don't even deal with pound for pound. Every time somebody want to talk pound, that's who you got. I say I don't deal with that. But this is a debate, and right now, he beat somebody that people thought he couldn't beat unless he could do it only by knockout. So I think it's time to give him that respect at least. And it'll last for a few days. Then, he's got to go ahead and sign up for his next fight. But, he did the unthinkable, man. They said it would only be via knockout. They tried to put him in the puncher's category and say he only had a puncher's chance, man. But we got another
He's gonna get outboxed, champ. He's gonna get his ears boxed off, man. He's the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Yeah. So all of a sudden,
hot knife going through butter.
Issue. That's my issue. That's my issue, right? Like the world would say, "Oh, he's pound for pound 1, 2, or 3, arguably. He's 1 and 2 with Crawford. He's 1 and 2 and 3 with Canelo." And now today, it's like, "Oh man, he was overhyped, man. Oh man, come on, man." But when I would say it, "Oh, Ness, you disrespectful. Oh, you disrespectful. You got a European bias. This, that, and the third." So now he beats this guy, and everybody want to brush it off. Boston Jared with the super chat says, Akakov was in a competitive fight with Billy Joe Saunders. Selecki went life and death with Jacobs. Andre watched both of them. Yeah, man, I hear you, Boston. Very close to Massachusetts, Providence, where Rhode Island, where Andre is from. I hear you. You in your feelings right now, champ. All of a sudden, Akakov, a.k.a. Wolverine, is a good name because he gave Billy Joe a good fight in a loss. So I get what you're saying. If you want to say, yo, Andre has showed levels, he's fought common opponents with other people and separated himself, I won't argue. But then he's also had very sloppy fights. I just can't see him, brother, with the mistakes I've seen him making versus the Keelas, the Fox. He destroyed Fox better than Liam Williams, But he's made some mistakes, man. Keela most definitely, and Akinwande as well. I know I'm pronouncing that horrible. He's been getting fatter, as Teddy Atlas likes to say, with his punches. And that's probably because he thinks he needs to sell out for his network. Maybe they're like, yo, if you get a few knockouts, we'll push the Canelo fight. And maybe that's why he's overcommitting with some of those shots. But if you don't believe that, if you don't think I'm being honest, you think I'm making that up, well then, like J-Mac likes to say, you don't, or CYP like told Francis, you ain't watching boxing because my man is over, his back foot is crossing his front foot. He's, I don't know. Look, I can't do this. You don't believe it? It is what it is. We going to Boomerang. What up?
So, yo, let me just throw out my top five. I'll do my top five pound for pound. I got Bud, Canelo, Teal's number 3, Wilder, and Manny, right? I put Wilder the heavyweight on the list because if Wilder went down to cruiserweight, he'd kill somebody. You know what I'm saying? Better yet, if he was at 175, I doubt he can get his body down that low. But, come on, he'd be the man. So, got him on there. So, boom. Let's talk about it, too, what happens with these pound-for-pound lists. Just beating the guy, like I said, non-transferable. Buster Douglas beat Mike Tyson. It don't matter what you do. It matters what you do after that. So he got the greatest upset, but he's not even known as a great heavyweight because he didn't do anything after that. So then you take somebody like Tio. That's why I said yesterday, even if you put him in there against Gary Russell, which again we want to do the film study, Gary Russell ain't no tomato can. No matter what we think of his fucking alligator arms or his infrequent fight schedule, that fight after, imagine if he washes Gary Russell, or even if he hurts, then you could say, all right, maybe he can peak towards the number 1. You know what I'm saying? The reason why some people have their opinion about either Danny Garcia or Bud Crawford is after unifying at 140. Remember, they did the...
No. Next caller.
What you mean? Damn, you just shut it down. No. Next caller. Wow. Let me get to this real quick. Quick message from Vasyl.
The fair shake talking to you, but let me talk something. Let me let y'all know. I want to thank the whole hood who came out here. I love y'all. I did this for the hood. Y'all know I beat that boy. What they trying to do is they trying to get that money.
I beat him.
That boy.
Somebody, why they voice over, that was a clip of Lomachenko in his post-fight interview with Mark Kriegel, but they did a voiceover of Adrian Broner. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you got to see that the internet is undefeated. Boomerang, real quick before we go to you, we got Majid in Orlando. What it do? Majid, just listening, going once, twice. My Gene Bed Boomerang.
Hit the thumbs up, like the show, subscribe, join Patreon. This is the best boxing show on earth. Y'all have a good day.
Real quick, we got a cash app from Sony in Cincinnati that says his top 5 are Bud, Canelo, Spence, Fury, Joshua, Teofimo Lopez. Sony, you talking? Cincinnati, you just listening, going once, 2 times, Stone Bone Boomerang.
Whatever. Yeah,
What's up?
yeah, T.O., he's moved up on my list. I probably got him about since he's in the same division, I would put him right around where Earl Spence at. You know, guys who they're unified champions, not yet undisputed, and they basically dominated the division they in by beating Lomachenko. So I would put him about probably around 6. I would have Earl about 5. I will have my top is Bud, then Canelo, interchangeable, whatever your bias is. You get and Ness, everybody ain't wrong when you be having hundreds. You done had hundreds and hundreds of fighters and managers and promoters and all of these fans. And when you ask that question, it's about 60% of them say Bud, about 40% say Canelo. So if everybody just crazy, we're sorry, Ness. Maybe because we ain't Latin biased. And there are different sizes. Look at Ness competition in Border Wars. Ness 6'6", 7, 6'10", and them guys, he was fighting at 6 feet. The heavyweight division varies. Wilder was 209 pounds fighting a 300. He was 270 at weigh-in. So what do you think he weighed at fight night? Fury was probably 290. So there's a big discrepancy. So heavyweights usually don't make the list, but they are fighting ranges. It's not just one size. You might make the scale at.
There you go.
I like the argument, but the only issue is actually coming from our co-producer. He's saying that the CYP argument is that Wilder belongs in the list for fighting a dude 270 pounds, but he lost. You know what I'm saying? Had he beat, then I guess it would be argued differently. But I get CYP's argument because Wilder's also fluctuated, you know what I'm saying, in weight. And giving up weight to some of his opponents. We got a counterpunch from New Jersey. Talk to us. Oh shit, I think he's gone. My bad. All right. So looking like that is everybody. And I'm gonna refresh over here. Final thoughts.
All right, so before we go, then I'm just gonna say, like, the reason why I said no, move on, is because I'm tired of people saying, like, okay, you have somebody that has accomplished and achieved a lot of things. So if you haven't achieved a lot of things, you probably won't know what it feels like for somebody trying to knock you off in terms of take your position or where you at or try to succeed more than what you have done so far, you know what I'm saying? And that's how it is. Lomachenko went out there and did it in 15 fights. Yes, he did. He's a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. Yes, he is. You know what I'm saying? His amateur record speaks for itself. But you got a young fighter that has done what he has done to put himself in the position to take on the quote-unquote the man, you know what I'm saying? And he put it on the man at his own game. So right now, when I'm saying this win is going to be significant in his career, no matter what happens in his career. This win's going to be significant. But for right now, he the man. The man.
Real quick, talking about people being the man, we got a few people we need to shout out. Ringing the bell one time, or should I say the horns one time, for James Payne Lethal, who signed up to Patreon and paid for the whole year. Doomy ain't here to hit you with the cha-ching, man, but shout out to you, dog. Shout out to you. He just said, man, we knocking this smooth out. We gonna hit you with the Mario Brothers coins. You know what I mean? Shout out. Speaking of paying for the year, Stick Talk Boxing. You know he always super chats and says, yo. Well, shout out to you. You just became a patron for the year. Yo. We appreciate you, champ. For real, man. For real. Because listen, you know, your patronage is going to get it done. Like we said, we flying Francis in. He's going to be debuting on Border Wars, not as a participant, but as the man behind the camera, bringing you all them angles, the behind-the-scene footage, everything that will be Border Wars out there. But yeah, man, catch us on the next one. We are doing Untitled tonight. A lot of important information going to be discussed tonight on Untitled concerning this particular week. I want to say shout out to Muhammad Baduru. I don't know. Because I didn't want to just say Muhammad. We got a few Muhammads chant, but shout out to you. Also signed up to Patreon. You know what I mean? Thank you guys for helping us continue to reach that goal. Look, it feels like forever. I ain't gonna front. Feels like forever. We've been trying to get to a specific goal of 100% on Patreon, and I'm trying to get there now and see. It used to tell us what percentage we're at of our goal. Can't find that this minute. Let me see. Yeah, no, I can't. So, all right, can't tell you that, but we want to get to 100%. That's all. And only you can help us with that. The same way only you can help us with gaining these subscribers and getting to 117,000. We got a counterpunch from CYP.
Yo, I want to end on this note. For all of y'all who have discrepancies about Wilder, I want to ask y'all a serious question. If Wilder versus Usyk was made for the undisputed cruiserweight championship, we all know Wilder can make the weight. If Wilder goes down there and beats Usyk, which y'all know, which most of y'all think he can, would y'all then say Wilder's pound for pound number 1, 2, or 3? This be real, because you know he can go down to cruiserweight and be undisputed champion, and he's already been heavyweight champion of the world. Stop it. You know it. And if you can't answer that question honestly, don't answer the question. But if there was $20 million put up for that fight, because it got to be worth it, you know Wilder's going to be undisputed cruiserweight champion. Cut it out. CYP out.
CYP, thanks for calling in. King, I don't know, JT confirmed. JT wanted to give you a counterpunch. Go for it, I guess. I guess y'all talked.
Yeah, Francis, you bugging. So now we could do this thing. You bugging because I just made the point. If Usyk, nobody put Usyk, and CP just said nobody put Usyk on a pound for pound if Wilder can't be on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't about Wilder. I'm just making the point of, yeah, you could do it in your division, but that's why I don't put triple G on there. You can't be stuck at one weight like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you can move the weight, I'll give you that. Usyk, nobody put Usyk on a pound for pound if Wilder can't go on a pound for pound then.
I agree with that 100.
Well, I don't even agree with that. I don't understand what that means.
But at the same time, Usyk was a cruiserweight. But go ahead,
Usyk moved up. Wilder got to move down if you want to, like, I don't know, like.
That's it.
You know, or the only argument is what CYP is saying, like, oh, he's giving up weight. But, like, other than that, you know, the only way to, you know, like, or dominate, which he was on his way to doing. But there was 2 other people claiming that status, and he has to beat them. And then it's like you pound for pound because you got 10 defenses and you beat everybody in your division. But it's hard to say Usyk's not pound for pound when he cleared out the cruiserweight division and now moved up. Now, if you want to say weight, I mean, it's hard because undisputed gets you basically pound for pound. That's everybody's argument for Crawford. So it's hard to say you can't put Usyk in there. But anyway, I'm out. Catch us on Untitled. It's over. Arrivederci. Peace.